So it is the rematch. We've been getting nothing but TvT finals here this week, and it continues. And oh boy, we'll see if history repeats itself or if we get a new champion.
That we are about to find out as we spawn in here into Royal Blood. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He is limping along. He actually lost his leg a while ago, as well as half of his hand. He only has 3 fingers on his hand right now to work with. We have, representing Abydos, it is Cure.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Also, I need to fight back against this false narrative in the chat talking about the best mirror matchup. The best mirror matchup is actually, and I guess there is a bit of a stipulation to this, a bit of a subcategory, but the best mirror matchup is Korean PvP. hands down, best mirror matchup. Best mirror matchup. I should clarify. Korean PvP, mate. It's beautiful. I love it so much.
I mean,
what are you with, Yaku? What are you with?
What's your favorite when you
mirror
put
matchup?
the stipulation there, then yes, you would be correct. But how often do we get that? Well, quite a lot,
All
actually.
the time.
Think about it. So all the time. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Korean PvP. But if we're looking interregional, right? If we're looking cross regions, then yeah, it would have to be TvT hands out, and Korean TvT. Not too bad either.
Yeah.
So, overall TvT, but Korean PvP. There's just something so chaotic and special about that. Yeah, it does go ahead a little bit, but overall, gotta be TvT.
True. I would also add to that as well, specifically for me, Korean TvT. I don't want to.
Well. Yeah. I mean, we've seen we've seen Spirit versus Gumiho pop off. We've seen Hero Marine, take it to the likes of Bunny and Cure, and those were pretty exciting as well. So, yeah, the cross-regional TvT can also be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it can. Definitely. As we dive into this series, and oh boy, so far, at least no initial proxies. Fun fact, so we kind of bringing my memory back to yesterday when we were casting ESL Cup of Americas. Fun fact, ByuN didn't proxy a single time in that best of 5. It was crazy, and he was actually more often than not going for 2 racks openers, blind countering Cure, expecting him to proxy. And yeah, it was quite aggressive, but no one quite went for any kind of...
never proxy.
Yeah, no one went for any cheese at all. It's crazy.
They've both been hurt too many times, They just being a little bit overly cautious there when they arguably don't need to, but we'll see if that has changed. A full day has passed, and Cure, he's regained mobility in one of his hands. So.
True. Yeah. It's crazy. He can play one-handed now, and we'll see if he can pull this off as he does dive on forward here. Baits out that first mine shot, and does get a bit of a better trade overall here. He does pick up a couple more of these Marines.
Yeah, it all comes down to a Hellion versus a Hellion, though. There's one SCV putting its life on the line to repair the Hellion, and will ensure ByuN comes out ahead in this little skirmish. Again, not the most impactful thing, but if Cure won it, then these SCVs in the low ground for ByuN would have been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they really would have been, but ByuN is able to hold on behind this. He does crank out that medevac. He's going to be going for a drop across the map. A bit of a cyclone drop with a couple of Marines, and we'll see what he can get done. And meanwhile, back at home, Cure is going for a much more standard opener here, going for his tank, going for his Raven, everything that we expect to be seeing. ByuN is the player who's really throwing a wrench in the works. He's being hyper-aggressive with this drop. He's also taking a very fast third base behind this.
Everything about ByuN is fast right now. There's only one Cyclone, and that's the extent of the anti-air. ByuN Cyclone actually locks on with an SCV, which will allow Cure to kind of come up ahead in this Cyclone battle.
Oh yeah, we do see both
reinforcements.
Yeah, the Cyclones lock on each other, but it looks like ByuN is going to be able to get his units out of there. He actually tries to double back around if possible, but for the most part, Cure is now in position. He has it wisened up, and he is going to be able to deflect that Cyclone.
Just like so. Thankfully for ByuN, he didn't neglect his own economy. He is getting that third base, so yeah, he wasn't banking on dealing a lot of damage here. It's actually what Cure is looking to do.
Exactly, like the whole point of that drop from ByuN is just keep Cure back at home, while ByuN is so greedy behind this. He doesn't just get that faster TC, he's going for double E-base as well for double upgrades and just getting his production up and running. Cure is going for his own third CC now, but far later than ByuN.
Yeah, the onus is definitely on Cure right now to try to get something done.
Really is. He is sending his medevac across the map as we speak. Meanwhile, back at home, just setting up his tanks pretty defensively, working towards 2 Ravens as well. We've got a 4th tank, fourth tank on the way behind this, and eventually he's going to have Stim. Speaking of Stim, ByuN rushed into it, and he's got it quite quickly already.
Yeah. And now he immediately deflects the drop coming out from Cure. This medevac will go down with 7 Marines, and the 8th Marine will die to the reinforcements of ByuN. Nothing has gone right now so far in this game for Cure.
It really hasn't. I mean, the one thing that Cure does have is he has a pretty terrifying army. He's got 4 tanks to the 0 of ByuN. Like, ByuN has, like, the reason why he was able to get Sim so quickly is because he did delay tank production so heavily. The first tank just now comes out. But ByuN will have a more mobile army instead, and I'm sure he's going to be looking to avoid these tanks as we have more medevacs on the way. ByuN going for a more drop-heavy style.
Yeah, and on top of that, you know, you don't need that many tanks when you're the defender.
True. Likewise, Cure, instead of going for all those medevacs, he's got Viking production well underway. This is great and all. Like, this, again, Cure is doing the quote-unquote, like, correct thing. Like, he's got a really solid army with tank Viking. But if the Vikings aren't in position, you know, ByuN is going to be able to snowball out of control, you know? Like, he has a lot of opportunity here with his drop play.
Yeah, I'm looking at all of these Ravens from ByuN, and okay, he's not going to be able to disable every single tank of Cure here, but he can get pretty damn close, let me tell you.
Really can, as ByuN is going to be, again, looking to be active on the map. Does confirm the tank positioning of Cure, as he does look for an opening. Behind this, the Vikings at least, as well as the turrets. Cure is ready for a Duke of the main base. He doesn't want to get done dirty like he did yesterday. But ByuN does avoid that, and he's looking for a bit of a different angle. Does go for the disable.
And that's all he needs. He just needs to disable that one tank that was covering the rest of this opening here. I really like these missile turrets in the backline, though, really making it more difficult for ByuN to position his Ravens.
Yeah.
Auto turrets get thrown down, and is ByuN doing it?
ByuN is being...
Kind of, but not really.
Yeah, he's being cleaned up here, and I don't think that was quite worth it. If we look at the units lost tab, ByuN, he killed 1 tank. He killed 1 tank, he killed some SCVs. I think he got the... No, he didn't get the engineering bay either. That was a very committed move by ByuN, and he lost so much.
Yeah, unfortunately for ByuN, you know, he was hoping that he could kind of bypass most of those tanks and then really just set himself up in the middle of that natural base, but it did not quite go to plan. Now he's very much on the back foot, and Cure has all the map control.
Yeah, he really does, as he does force his way forward. The Ravens did trade out, to be fair. No one has any Ravens remaining, but Cure is still looking to find a better angle here. He does have that high ground vision. The tank does go down.
And with that, ByuN is just inching backwards and backwards. The Ravens did go down, but Cure, well, I was going to say has the air superiority, but no, he had the air superiority.
Boys are being
But even
pulled.
still.
ByuN, he's trying to break on out. He loses every single worker, and he gets like 2 tanks. That was not an efficient trade whatsoever. Cure is getting out of control. ByuN just bleeding out far too much.
That was... Yeah, that was... I hesitate to use the T word there, Light, but I'm not sure how else to really describe it. ByuN was so dominant at the start of this game, and all of a sudden he just kind of threw away his lead.
Yeah, well, that was done when he pushed out across the map in that natural. Like, that was not... that was a really rough fight for ByuN to commit into, and from this moment, Cure, he's far ahead economically. He's got a 4th base on the way. Sure, he's down in upgrades, and ByuN is about to finish up 2-2, which is great for his Marines, but yeah, we have a Doomdrop going into the main base, and can ByuN even solve this? It looks like he will.
Yeah. He's got a Viking, he's got a decent Marine count, so... Yeah, he's got a decent defensive position, but like you said, it's not the attack that he has to worry about right now from Cure. It's the fact that Cure is about to eclipse him, or has already eclipsed him when it comes to the economy.
He really has. ByuN in a move of desperation. He's getting another 4th base here on the right-hand side. He's trying to sneak it out. When it comes to the main army, he still only has 1 tank in position here, and Cure is looking to bust on through once again. He has the supply lead. He has the tank lead as well. He's going to be able to siege up in range of that CC, I believe. Or even the tank.
Just barely, yeah. Just barely in range of the CC and the tank.
As we go for the drop into the main base, again, ByuN does have the Marine advantage here, and he's going to be able to clean up this drop.
Oh, barely not able to catch that medevac. And yeah, the army supplies are surprisingly even. ByuN is far ahead when it comes to the upgrades as well. It's just how long can this really last for him, though, when he's down 30 or so workers?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he is getting away with that 4th base, to be fair. ByuN is just going to be repositioning here. ByuN still has a ways to stabilize, but slowly and surely, like, he's denying these drops. We have another double drop going into the main base, and ByuN doesn't have too many Marines in position. Oh, that's going to be enough.
It was a bait!
Does get baited into that drop. At the same time, we do see both players being active with these run-bys. Sensor Tower is going to be going down. The 4th base has now been spotted. ByuN taking the center base instead, and yeah, if this game goes on any longer, like, he is slowly stabilizing. Cure still has a pretty big advantage, don't get us wrong, but ByuN is doing his best to claw his way back into this.
Yeah, he's gone from being very much in a desperate position to now just, being disadvantaged.
Well, exactly. It's once again a lot of Marines for Cure do go down here at that 3rd base location. At the same time, a massive run-by is also going out across the map, but ByuN is here to meet it.
Yeah, those tanks on the high ground really putting in a lot of work for ByuN.
They really were. Meanwhile, Cure, he's just expanding, taking more bases. Cure is, of course, still maxed, and he has been maxed for quite some time, or being close to, but ByuN is closing that gap in supply. Up.
Oh, but his supply is not where he needs it to be right now. Can he repair the orbital command? It looks like he can, but he has to be very careful pushing into the Marine army of Cure. It's plenty of tanks in the back line.
Yeah, exactly. As Cure does dance here with the army of ByuN, and is going to be able to deny that 4th base, just keeping ByuN on a 3-base economy here. Even going to be not quite getting the CC, but almost did.
I mean, it's burning down. He's forcing repairs, which cannot be good at all for ByuN. I mean, look at that income difference.
Yeah, exactly. As he stims on forward, he's going to be able to get on top of these tanks. So ByuN, he overwhelms the ground army of Cure, and this is a massive loss for Cure.
It really is. He still has a couple of tanks right outside of ByuN's base, but for the most part, Cure's tank count has been reset. ByuN is ahead in the army supply, and he still has a pretty big upgrade lead. He can try to go for a counterattack if he so chooses.
Yeah, he really can, and it looks like that's exactly what's about to happen. Cure has the majority of his tanks out on the map. They're not at home to defend right now. This is the best case scenario for ByuN.
Is it now? Well, kind of. Tanks are a little bit exposed. ByuN tries to stem on forward. Not the best Marine spread, if we're being honest. And yeah, ByuN trying to push from the low ground will just allow all of Cure's Marines to overwhelm the tanks that are in the valley.
Yeah, and now Cure, he consolidates his army. The tanks have returned here with the main force. He's going to be able to push on forward, and ByuN did a really impressive job surviving this long and almost fighting back in this game. The boys are being pulled. It looks like, once again, ByuN is going to be able to get on top of these tanks.
Yeah, 3-3 is actually really pulling its weight here for ByuN, but he is about to get starved out. If ByuN doesn't take a decisive win now, I don't think he can win this game.
Yeah, exactly. And here we go. ByuN, he loads up. He goes for a massive Doom drop into the main base. ByuN basically on a 2-base economy right now. He is able to unload. He is able to lay siege upon the production.
Yeah, not a bad position to be in, but there is only one tank, and Cure has that defender's advantage. He will be able to just get on top of everything. The Sim City was originally working in ByuN's favor, but now that he's cleaned up the add-ons, he just allows these Marines to get a much better concave.
Yeah, like ByuN has been like dying for the past 10 minutes, but he's he's making this close. He's fighting back so hard here with his Marines, with 3-3, as you were saying. Reinforcements do come in as well as he tries to wreak havoc and try to take down this third base, but here come the reinforcements.
He's being fueled by pure spite right now. Is ByuN trying to get on top of that tank, not quite able to do so. ByuN just moves a couple of pixels to the right, he wouldn't notice that planetary fortress.
Yes,
I think he has scouted it now.
Yeah, he has spotted. He drops into the main base, but there was a tank lying in wait. We have reinforcements. Cure going for his own counter drop.
Yeah, and he is able to get right on top of that tank. Just not enough Marines in position here to really counter all of those medevacs.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, Cure, he has, for the most part, dealt with the main threat here. There's still 2 full medevacs available for ByuN. We do see him just rallying whatever units he can across the map. The 4th base is now back up and running. ByuN at a decent economy at this point, but I think he only has 2 tanks to his name. He has the high ground, but that upgrade advantage isn't as large as it once was.
Yeah, Cure's pretty much caught back up. Their production is under a lot of trouble right now, but reinforcements will be able to clean up the drop of ByuN, and now Cure can just sim on forward. There's only 2 tanks and not that many Marines up for.
Yeah, exactly. GG gets called, and Cure will take game number 1.
Things are looking so good for ByuN at the start of that game. Things are looking so bad for Cure, but yeah, that decision to push into the natural base was just a little miscalculated by the looks of things.
Yeah, like ByuN, he was building up towards this big push, and then he forced the issue when maybe after seeing the position of Cure, he probably should have respected it a little bit more. He wedged himself into the natural and lost everything, lost so much momentum, and Cure snowballed out of control from that point with that counterattack. And ByuN did a great job at like surviving, I guess, for as long as he did. But he wasn't really living, he wasn't really
yeah.
It was
he was bedridden that entire time.
Really impressive, though, that he was able to fight back as hard as he did, despite being in a really rough position.
Yeah, he had half his body in the grave, yet somehow he was able to just pull off shots out of nowhere. Really fire back. You have to ask for 1 quick minute here.
Yeah. All good, all good. See in the chat, Lad is a closet Protoss. He knows too much about PvP. I'm cheating. It's just because we cast a lot of PvP on this channel. We've cast a lot of PvP. But yeah, it's always good fun, As we are continuing here with our finals run. Again, that was merely game 1. Game 1 of a best of 5. Plenty more matches are ahead. Plenty of opportunities for our Red Terran to bring it all back. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, we have game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gress Farm, we have the player currently leading the series 1-0, representing Team Abydos, the South Korean Terran. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the other South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. Looking to fight back in this game, in this series, it is ByuN. And what was really amazing about that last game is it really did kind of showcase the strength of both players and what we expect to get out of this series. We had Cure with really solid, robust play, very meta as well, going Viking tank, going for these slow pushes, absorbing the attacks of ByuN. Meanwhile, ByuN skipping out on Viking production entirely, going for this mass medevac, mass drop play, very hyper aggressive, very greedy behind it as well, a very dynamic play style, if you will. So we got to see both of these different styles clash in game 1, and what is always fun and what is always great about ByuN's playstyle is also sometimes something that kills him as well. Like, he's always so wild and so aggressive, and sometimes he can misjudge situations, sometimes he can overextend, and he is worse off for it. That's kind of what we saw in game 1. I'm sure we're going to see that again. The idea of ByuN overextending at times, but that's also why he's a lot of fun to watch as well, as we get into this game and as Yaku makes his return. Hello, Yaku.
Indeed. I caught the tail end of that description that you're going for, and I do agree with you there. How does the saying go? The wildest fire burns the forest, something like that. That's pretty much ByuN.
It's true, ByuN, he does burn forests. You're not wrong, you're not wrong. It's the, what is it? It's the brightest flame. It shines the brightest, but also the shortest, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Burn down the
If he
forest.
isn't able to win early, if he isn't able to win early, then, it's not going to be looking too good for him.
ByuN is the product of global warming. You're not wrong.
He is, yeah. He's microplastics, wait.
There you go. He could maybe make use of, we're getting to that point. Are we going to get to the point where, is there a world out there where ByuN gets like a robotic, or like a robotic wrist or something?
Robotic wrist, yeah.
Yeah.
Getting close.
The dream.
Is Dream still active?
No.
I think about it. Yeah, I don't think he ever officially retired, but I just don't see him that much.
He pulled a patience. He faded into obscurity he just stopped playing in things, and he just didn't announce anything to anyone. Smooch.
Well, I mean, in the case of Patience, he told some Wikipedia editor that he was going to the military.
True. There you go. I think I want to say he said it to like Crank or something, and that was relayed. But we do see a bit of a clash here once again. Cure able to take the better end of it here, splitting off his Reapers just in time. He completely shuts down the units of ByuN as he races across the map, looking to try and force a delay on this low ground CC.
I mean, he not only shuts down the units of ByuN, but he keeps most of his attack force still alive. Not quite able to get a delay on that third CC, but this is a lot of momentum behind Cure. He can actually keep this going and maybe even take out the mineral line. The wall is not a wall. There's nothing stopping these. GG is called, and Cure takes game number 2, goes to match point in less than 4 minutes. That game lasted. That was, I'm gonna be sleeping good tonight. Like, that is every TV. That is how I want every single one of my TvTs to go. It wasn't quite the coffee build that ByuN and Cure went for, but it's pretty dang close, and it's pretty close to what I do in every single TvT.
Let's go, mate. Let's go. This is why we love TvT in Korea, by the way. Things can be over before they really do begin. And Cure was able to snowball a little bit too much out of control there, catching ByuN in the middle of the map. Again, just better control overall from Cure, being able to avoid the splash damage of those Hellions and snowball out of control. And just like that, Cure is 1 game away from becoming this week's champion.
Yeah. I haven't checked the other streams yet, but we might conclude our best of 5 finals before the best of 3 bronze match finishes up.
Yeah, there you go. It's possible. We could even maybe catch it as well, depending on how fast this is. And of course, as Asher did chime in as well, I mean, they were mirrored builds. They were the same openers. Just better execution from Cure, just very quickly snowballing out of control. And damn, just like that, game 3.
Game 3, and it's going to be on Babylon, where we're here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We, of course, have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He is, halfway in the grave right now. He's being lowered down as we speak, yet somehow still a match point against his opponent, who hasn't been able to take a map from him yet. He is going to be representing Abydos. He is the mayor of Six City. He is Cure. Six City, USA.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And he needs your support. He needs all your energy right now, because one more loss and the finals will be over. And then we get to go and cast Dark versus Max Fax.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so wild for ByuN to be in this position right now. But Cure, he doesn't take advantage of it. He doesn't go for the proxy racks. He's too good for that.
That's a very odd Rax positioning, by the way.
It's
So it's not by the wall, but it's also not hidden. It's like this is a Rax position that you do specifically to trigger your opponent's OCD or the viewer's OCD. So actually, you know what? Completely tactical.
Yeah, a couple of Terran players do this. I've seen Kyo do it. I think I've maybe seen Maru do this as well. The purpose of this, of course, is to make sure that your production isn't going to be in range of the low ground for any kind of tank sieges, for example, or early tank pushes. So yeah, Kyo does throw down his production a little bit further back instead, just to keep it safe and secure.
And you never know in a position like this, right? Especially on a map like Babylon, which is a lot shorter, which does lend itself very well to early Viking tank pushes.
Yeah, it really can, especially these like early tank medevac drops as well. We have seen ByuN mix in before, more recently though going for the medevac cyclone drop, and even in that last game as ByuN was tapping out, we did have a medevac on the way as well, again showing that he just wants to be in the face of his opponent, wants to be the aggressor. But for the time being, we have Rax expands all around so far, very economic openers from both players.
Yeah, neither of them want to throw it all away here.
As a result, we don't have like an abundance of Reapers initially or anything like that. And oh my god, Cure goes straight for the third CC, by the way.
Yeah, boy. Heard you liked economic openings. Well, it's about as greedy as you can get in a TvT. Nice delay on that starport, and Cure can actually fight this. It's one Marine and one Reaper. I guess he knows that the Rax has a reactor, and he doesn't know how far along these Marines are. So yeah, he does the safe thing, and he doesn't stick around, but could have been a lot worse here for ByuN.
It really could have. Regardless, we do see Cure just making sure his opponent's staying back at home. He also confirms and scats the 1-1-1, so he knows that obviously his opponent is going to be far more aggressive than he is, and Cure is going to be taking a much more defensive position as he gets into his own eventual starport production. Meanwhile, ByuN, show us that medevac, by the way, as he does have his first tank on the way as well. There it is. He's going for the tank drop.
Just like so. Cure should have an inkling of what's to come, but no confirmation just yet. He is getting the Cyclone to keep himself safe, but he needs to position it in the right location. Again, relative to what ByuN is doing, Cure is so insanely greedy with this earlier 3 racks.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, CC, sorry.
Yeah, with his earlier third CC, you're not wrong, and so far he is getting away with it. We do see that we go that tank drop moving out across the map. We do actually see this quite often on Babylon, and Cure was already preemptively prepared for that by putting his production a little bit further back. We do see him actually scouting the move out as well with these Reapers.
Yeah, even able to take out a Hellion here, just doing whatever he can to slow down or to weaken the DPS potential here of ByuN. Cyclone locks onto the Marine, not the best target to lock onto here, but I still say this is fine for Cure.
Yeah, I mean, Cure hasn't lost anything. Yeah, he hasn't lost anything major yet. As you're saying, he has a Raven for the auto turret as well. He's just waiting for a couple more units that I'm sure he's going to pull the boys to try to break this position. We have that tank now coming out.
Oh, but we also have a Cyclone from ByuN, and it is locking on to Cure Zone Cyclone. It does go down, as does the tank of Cure. Boys are being pulled. Cure will just barely not be able to push his back.
Yeah, he barely doesn't have enough. If only he kept that Cyclone alive, it looks like the tank of ByuN will barely go down. And even though Cure lost a couple of SCVs, he can afford to, because of how fast this third CC is, he can afford to lose some workers, as he's only behind 2 workers compared to ByuN.
Yeah, unfortunately things are definitely going pretty bad for Cure here, but not bad enough for ByuN to really take an advantage in this game. Raven comes out here, and an auto turret can help out, but I don't think it's going to be able to make up for the defender's advantage and now the marine and tanks that are coming out from Cure. But look at that disable.
Yeah, we get the disable thrown down on the tank of Cure. He pulls the boys. He's losing far too much at this point. Look how many SCVs have gone down. 21, 22 SCVs have fallen. ByuN just snowballing out of control here, and any kind of economic advantage that Cure once had is no longer there.
Yeah, I still say that this is fine for Cure. But like you said, he no longer has the advantage. Things are a lot more up in the air now. I mean, ByuN is only just now finishing up his 3rd CC, and he has to wait a while to turn into an orbital command. So I still say that things are fairly even, but Cure doesn't want this to be even, you know?
Exactly.
He can't even.
And behind this, we see once again that dynamic, that kind of differing play style here as ByuN is continuing medevac production. He has a much faster stim and 1-1 on the way. Meanwhile, Cure is going for tank Viking instead. He wants to be the defender. He wants to have his opponent push into him, but can he keep up with the drop play? Because his tank count, his overall army was crippled earlier because of all that aggression, and ByuN, he wants to keep that going.
Yeah, there is a single missile turret here, but it shouldn't take much for ByuN to just sort of boost past it. Only one shot lands on his medevac.
Yeah, and Cure is being pulled apart. He was in the midst of moving out. He was not ready for this drop at all, and that's going to be cancelled on that Rax. A lot of lost mining time here in the main base.
Yeah, his upgrades are going to be delayed. Even his stim and his +1 is going to be delayed by quite a bit. Forced to land a Viking just to get a little bit of extra DPS, and now I'm convinced that Cure has taken too much damage.
Yeah, down to only 47 workers. ByuN, he's got his own orbital up and running. 3rd base fully operational as well. Cure still contained to only 2, barely 2 mining bases, and Cure's gonna have to focus on this push. Now, his army is still quite terrifying. He has a lot of energy on these Ravens. He has 4 tanks, an even tank count with ByuN, which is never a good thing. And as Cure moves out, ByuN could even try and force the base trade. Yeah, actually. As Cure is going to take this slow instead. I assumed that he was just going to send it across the map and maybe try to leverage his army, but no, that is not the case. He's more concerned with establishing this 3rd, and oh no, who is it?
Is it me? No, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Someone was lacking a little bit there. But yeah, ByuN with this map control, he just takes his 4th base on location.
Yeah, might as well. Could allow him to mine much quicker. ByuN also slowly starting to surround the bases of Cure. Even goes for a drop with a tank in the natural base. With this siege, I mean, there shouldn't be too much Cure can really do about that, except for disable. But
yeah, there's a disable. Looks like this drop is going to get cleaned up, but you know what? We killed 7 SCVs, and that was worth it anyway. At the same time, ByuN, he unsieges. He's slowly edging his way forward. Another disable. He is going to get in range of the tanks and the CC.
Just like so.
We do force a lift up. We go for a drop into the main base, and yeah, just Cure. He's being pulled apart left and right. He just cannot keep up with the aggression of ByuN. This is snowballed out of control, and this may just be the game-winning move. Look how much more damage is getting done.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the game-winning move here. I do not see a way for Cure to really turn this around unless suddenly every single Marine goes down, and which they don't. And Cure immediately goes for the counterattack, which even then, it's going to be tough. ByuN will have the defensive advantage at that point.
Yeah, exactly. As finally ByuN is forced to pick up. Finally, he's forced to evacuate that main base, but he's done so much more damage. 31 SCVs just went down. And Cure, if he wasn't all in before, he's all in now. He's sending everything he has across the map for one last-ditch effort. The army supplies are still very comparable, so he can still win a fight. That's his only chance.
Yeah. They are very comparable, and you know what? Cure does have the air superiority. He has the higher Viking count, and now he's throwing a couple of Liberators into the mix to get a little bit of a better zoning potential for his tanks. I do think that Cure can take it, but it's a very, much easier said than done. He's late to siege up, and this... actually...
ByuN wasn't too confident. He does pull back. He takes a lot of tank shots to the face. Cure is taking control of this position. Again, he is all in. This is all or nothing for Cure. He doesn't have to just deny the third. He has to break into the natural, into the main. He has to win the game with this army.
And again, a lot easier said than done. ByuN has so much. ByuN is feeling confident enough to throw a couple of drops across the map and to maybe even just win by elimination here. It's very possible right now for ByuN.
Yeah, exactly. As the tanks are getting in position, ByuN coming in from behind, though he does catch some of these tanks on siege. He's going to be able to get one of them.
Yeah, the Marines work quite here to provide their little buffer.
Yeah, just barely they were not. Meanwhile, another tank is going to be going down. A tank does replace the dead one of Cure. He's going to be able to get in range of at least that depot, and he's slowly trying to bust into the main base. But ByuN is ready for him.
Yeah, well, yeah, he is more than ready for him. He was consolidating his Marine count, and yeah, tanks are getting a lot of shots here from the low ground, but here comes the surround, and here comes the Marine bomb as well. No! Tanks are still somehow barely alive, but that should... I say that should just about be it. Cure has a higher army supply.
Yeah, Cure
has some much better upgrades.
He's got another wave behind this. It took a lot for ByuN to clean that up, but Cure, he isn't done, not yet. We're not pulling the boys, by the way. We do have a lot of tanks on the way here for Cure, and we'll see if he can somehow get this done as ByuN is in position here in between his bases.
I think the big difference now is that Cure has lost his Liberators. And he also only has one Viking that's on death's door.
Yeah.
Now he has no Vikings. Yeah, this should just about be it here for Cure.
Yeah, that air superiority was something that he could really leverage into a victory. Without it, it's that much more difficult. The pure Marine, pure tank just isn't going to work out anywhere near as well. ByuN has the upgrade lead, as you were mentioning earlier. +3 attack is on the way. Cure trying to get in range, but no, he's going to lose the tank already.
Yeah, every single advantage that Cure might have had is just completely gone. GG is called, and ByuN is able to fight back here, is able to take a game, and potentially turn this all around. We might not be able to catch Dark versus Max Packs.
There you go. GG, very well played there. Ooh, ByuN does fight back in that series, and again, that was all based off of that tank drop. It did barely snowball out of control. It barely did just get an insane amount of damage done. Cure was so close to holding that, but there were a couple of little things that happened. If you remember, Cure lost his Cyclone very early on.
That was 100% the point of no return.
Yeah, it was.
That was... If he kept that Cyclone alive, I think he would have been able to have even just the slightest advantage in that defense would have made sure that ByuN wouldn't be able to snowball as hard as he did, and would have meant that Cure would have been able to maintain that economic advantage. But because that Cyclone went down, everything else from there fell into place for ByuN.
Yeah, like, that defense was so on a knife's edge, and as you were saying, like, even one extra unit would have been the world of difference when it comes to killing that tank like 2, 3, 4 shots earlier, and just, yeah, the difference between defending and not, and in the end, ByuN is able to pull it off, and now we're getting into game number 4. Now we have a series.
Yeah. Wait, 1, 2, yeah, 4. 2 plus. So we had. Yeah. This is game number 4.
Yeah, okay.
Math.
Have you eaten today, Pop? Have you eaten today?
I have not.
Me neither.
Yeah.
What are you gonna get after this?
Noodles.
Me too.
Because we have leftovers from yesterday.
Okay, nice.
As we continue our series now on to Ancient Cistern. Over here in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. Half his face and limbs and pretty much everything, half side, I don't remember if it's the left or the right side, got burned off. He's basically half a skeleton right now. He is coming out from the land of Korea, representing Abydos. He is Cure.
And spawning. In the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And both players are going for double gas openers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to scrutinize the past couple of. I'd have to scrutinize the past couple of maps that they played, but yeah, I'm not too surprised that they're going for double gas.
Last game, they both went for racked expanse, if you recall.
There we go.
More economic openers, but yeah, this time they're going to be going for something a little bit more aggressive instead. Once again, Cure really respecting these tank pushes and pulling or throwing down his racks further on back at home. Same can be said for ByuN.
Yeah. Although ByuN's production is a little bit closer to that natural base, so if Cure opts for an earlier tank push, you know, that will be vulnerable.
But ByuN's, like, because all the buildings are close together, it's more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. The OCD is sated.
True. As both players are getting into their factories as we speak, we also do see as well that, yeah, both players are going to be getting their natural bases up and running as well. There are major differences outside of the fact that Cure did go for a reactor after his first Reaper. ByuN has been pumping out Reapers instead, so for the time being, he's going to have a bit of a higher unit count just to defend, just to make sure he's safe and sound back at home.
Well, for now, we're saying safe and sound and defend back at home, but both players doing variations on the coffee build.
Yeah.
Opting for a much quicker starport, though.
Yeah, exactly. Starport is already on the way. Just these minute little details are differing here for our two players, but their overall outlook are pretty similar overall. And on a map as large as Ancient Cistern, again, the early game is going to be relatively normal here, at least until one of our players decides to move out on the map.
Just wait and see. ByuN going for that medevac once again.
Yeah.
See if this is going to be a tank or a cyclone coming out from the factory.
I want to say 3 out of the 4 games, maybe 4 out of the 4 games, ByuN has opened up with a medevac. It's been...
And the one game he didn't was when he got caught in the middle of the map, right?
Yeah.
When game number 2 on... It wasn't Babylon.
Oh, no, he did have a medevac on the way. Yeah, it was on Gressfan. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
Aggressfun, yeah.
True. But yeah, with this, of course, we can now gain access to drop play. We're just going to be waiting a little bit longer for the first cyclone to come out. Of course, Cure is not that kind of player. He's going for his first Raven before Viking production, of course, I imagine. And yeah, Cure is going to be waiting to receive whatever ByuN has to throw at it. Oh.
And he knows ByuN's going to throw it his way.
Yeah, behind this, ByuN, he throws down a very fast OTC. So this time, ByuN is looking to take the economic advantage. Again, this is very similar to what Cure was trying to pull off last game, if you recall. Cure wasn't actually able to make use of that faster third CC. He wasn't able to actually have an economic lead. But ByuN is looking to do that instead, as Cure's third isn't too far behind. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, they're both in each other's minds at this point in the game.
Yeah, great minds think alike. ByuN's third is a little bit faster.
Series.
Yeah, his third is a little bit faster, but not by too much, only by mere seconds. So yeah, both players just want to get into a 3-base economy as fast as they can.
On the other hand, Stim is going to be a lot quicker here for ByuN. So he is going to be able to dictate the pace of the game before Cure can.
Exactly. We'll see when he does move out. I think what's surprising to me is that even though ByuN did go for that faster medevac, he didn't actually go for a drop across the map. He's just chilling here back at home. And if I'm not mistaken...
Yeah, I'm very confused.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, ByuN hasn't seen anything across the map. He has no idea what Cure is up to. He's more concerned with what he's getting away with instead.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm very confused, but it's working out for him, I think.
Yeah, definitely. As there we go, third base is being taken as we speak. ByuN with no fear, throwing caution to the wind. Cure, again, he was a little bit later with his own third, so he is going to be able to eventually take his own, as ByuN is finally going to be sending his first couple of units out on the map.
Or halfway out on the map.
Yeah, just trying to vie for that map control. Same can be said for Cure, as we're both getting underway here. Third now being taken as well. And we'll see if Cure can find any of these stray units, as ByuN has kind of fanned everything out on the map, trying to catch any kind of move out. Marines are in position, and he should be able to hold on to his third.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot these Reapers and Hellion can really do. They take out one SCV, but then immediately turn around.
Go up. Yeah, and it looks like there's only one way out, and he's going to take a mine shot to the face. Mine will connect on the Cyclone of all things. A very high-value pick-off there for ByuN.
I didn't realize a single mine shot was all it took to take out a Cyclone.
Yeah, really nicely done. I don't know if it just happened to target the Cyclone or if that was manually targeted by ByuN, but regardless, very nicely done here. As a result, Cure has so much less map presence as he just establishes his own third base.
Yeah, might as well. Worker counts are fairly even, as both of our players, yep, they're working on their 1-1, they're working on their combat shields, they're getting their armories coming down, not too much variation, so it's all going to come down to the execution. And so far, just to get a little bit of a lead by shaving off the infantry count.
Yeah, so the armies, they do pass by each other. ByuN is moving out with his tanks. The tanks of Cure did stay back at home, so this Marine push is going to do a lot of damage, but likewise, ByuN wants to snowball out of control. He gets the disables off on these tanks, and he's going to be denying the third.
Fantastic couple of pickoffs here for ByuN, but Cure is looking to reciprocate much harder. This orbital's going down.
Wow.
There's no way.
Yeah, ByuN, he denies mining at the third. Meanwhile, Cure, he takes down the natural base entirely. He even trades well against these Marines and takes down 6 SCVs.
Yeah, despite the tank being present there. Cure just happened to have a much better concave, so yeah, all of a sudden, things are looking much better for Cure.
They really are. Cure did come out ahead after that skirmish. ByuN just trying to get his natural base back up and running. The armies are still pretty comparable with each other. ByuN actually has a bit of an army lead, but pushing into tanks is going to be difficult, especially because ByuN already used his disables. He needs a little bit more time to regather that energy before he moves out once again.
Yeah, slowly but surely. I mean, his Ravens still have a decently healthy energy count to them.
Yeah.
But when you're going Raven tank versus Raven tank, you really need to make sure you have everything, every advantage that you can get.
Yeah, and fun fact, this is the first game where Cure isn't going tank Viking. Because you mentioned earlier the faster stim, Cure is also going for this more mobile composition instead. He wants to try to keep up here with the playstyle of ByuN, wants to keep up with his speed if possible.
Which is often impossible if we're talking about ByuN, but we'll see if he's able to pull it off. Anti-armor missiles do get thrown down, but those are some very clutch disables coming out here from ByuN. Not a single tank is able to get their volleys off until now, but it may just be enough here for Cure to push us back.
Yeah, exactly. ByuN did run out of steam, but he did get a lot of tanks, and there we go. A hot pickup. ByuN has to get the hell out of here without losing his own tanks, and he's going to be able to take and maintain that lead.
Yeah, Cure hasn't taken any economic damage just yet, but like you said, just evening out the tank count, or resetting the tank count, that's the term, is already a huge pickoff in a TvT, especially when it's versus Bio. Even having one more tank in the right position can make or break an engagement.
Speaking of one tank, ByuN is in position. He's going to be able to deflect the main army of Cure. At the same time, we have a triple jump head towards the third base. Cure is out of position. Can he respond in time as ByuN goes straight into the main?
Like so. That's a lot of tanks. One of them will get picked off before really fully sieging up, but 2 of them are enough to establish a foothold. Cure's now turning around with everything he's got.
Okay, Sims on forward. He's going to be able to take down at least one of these tanks. No, the tank survives. And ByuN is coming in from behind as well. ByuN is pulling Cure apart.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, we have a drop into the main mineral line. The Marines, they dive into the natural as well. Cure, he just was out of position with his main force, and he is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, 11 SCVs go down. Surprisingly not that much. But losing that orbital command is absolutely huge right now. As ByuN is working on his own 4th base.
Yeah, this was, again, really necessary damage for ByuN just because he lost his natural base earlier, so he's able to reciprocate that damage by killing the base of Cure. These tanks didn't be cleaned up, but again, Cure had the tank disadvantage earlier, so yeah, ByuN doing a really good job at bouncing back in this game.
Yeah, it's just gonna look for ways to get perpetually ahead here.
Yeah, the drop play just doesn't stop as he goes back in with another drop into the natural base, but Cure doesn't turn around with everything. He only turns around with a small force instead. He's committing to his push, and is ByuN going to be able to hold on to that planetary?
We'll see. A planetary is always very, very tough to break, especially if there is enough of an army backing them up. Cure is completely on siege, and ByuN stims on fort. That's a huge anti-armor missile, though. But the tank count of Cure gets completely reset.
Yeah.
If not for that, I think Cure would have been content to keep pushing, but without any sort of fallback point in the form of tanks, yeah, Cure's going to have to pack up and go back home, where he is facing a massive worker deficit. 19 more SCVs went down.
And he's down in every aspect right now. Like, Cure, he had such a good start to this game, and it's almost like we're talking about that previous game from ByuN, where he had a lead and then things kind of slipped away. But yeah, Cure, he had such a solid, such a powerful start to game number 4. But alas, it has all slipped through his fingers. ByuN with the mass drop play was just pulling Cure apart left and right, forced him to turn around multiple times. And now Cure is pretty all in. He has a larger army, but that's really all he has.
Oh. I kind of want to see medvacs go down there, but yeah, ByuN should be able to just clean this up. There's not enough of a marine buffer, and every single tank is going to go down. Cure surprisingly not that far behind when it comes to the army supply, but do remember a lot of his army supply is caught up in these medevacs, and unfortunately, they don't have weapons yet.
They really do not, and that was another massive loss for Cure. As you were saying, right now he has to rely on drop play. He has to try and do the same that ByuN just did to him, try to pull apart his opponent, but ByuN is there at every turn, just shutting Cure down.
The snowball has avalanched. We're looking at the beginning of the end here of game number 4, and we're about to look at the beginning of our ace match by the looks of things.
Yeah, exactly, as Cure is fighting his heart out, and to be fair, ByuN has come back from this kind of situation before. It's just really difficult when it comes to what ByuN has. You know, ByuN, he's likewise got sensor towers up and running. He has a mobile army as well, so he can keep up with the drop play of his opponent.
Speaking of drop play.
Yeah. No!
Feels badge, man.
I believe that's the French
Feels EU, man.
Yeah, I believe that's the French caster. Yeah, as unfortunately we already saw this earlier. It looks like we will have one of our casters drop out, but thankfully not at the most crucial moment.
Yeah, not quite. As Cure, yep. I was gonna say, Cure once again realizes that a Doom drop is probably his best case scenario. As ByuN, you know, great minds think alike. He too is going for a massive Doom drop.
Yeah, he catches another tank here in the main base. Cure trying to keep up, but no, he exposes his own tanks. Never mind, good volleys do go off on the army of ByuN. Meanwhile, Cure, this is his main, by the way. He floats his main over to try to stay in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he has to. He cannot afford to build another CC. Not when he's this far behind in the income, the bank, the everything, really.
Yeah, so we do have a quadruple drop into the main base, but we have tanks in position. Like, ByuN is kind of ready for this. I don't really see this doing too much damage. He gets maybe a CC, a depot as well, some production, but here we go. ByuN going to come in with the rest of his army.
Yeah, he's about to get completely 360 surrounded. army supply just completely cut in half. GG is called, and ByuN takes us to the ace match. You'll love to see it.
GG, well played. Oh, game 5 is upon us. ByuN winning 2 games in a row here, clawing his way back again. We had a really powerful start for Cure here. He had such a good lead after he was able to snipe the base of his opponents. And if you remember, ByuN went for a Doom Drop, and Cure, he was like 3/4 of the way across the map. He turned back around with his army, and by the time he came back home, he had just lost so much.
It really did. I do kind of want to like bring it back a little earlier from that. I do feel like though that one extra Raven that ByuN had really made all the difference. You could see when he pushed out with his Ravens, with his tanks, Cure was kind of set up. I mean, I don't think he really took the aggression that seriously, but he was kind of set up. You know, he had 3 tanks in position, and then he had a couple more tanks in the back line that he had to bring forward. But no, those 3 disables that ByuN threw down was enough to buy himself time to stem on forward and establish a bit of a foothold. By the time Cure was able to reinforce, it was already too late.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, ByuN forces the ace match, and he also shows that, you know, ByuN, he may have some he obviously has wrist issues, right? But at least he has wrists. And Cure,
at least he's alive.
Yeah, Cure out here playing wristless, playing, you know, like halfway into the grave. He's fighting his heart out right now, and oh boy, is forced all the way into game number 5. This can still go either way.
It really could. I would like it to end with both players going for the coffee build. Seeing who executes it better.
Let's go, buddy. Let's go.
The coffee build, but no follow-up.
You're an animal. As we are just going to be getting ready here for that ace match. For game number 5. Regardless of how this turns out, it will end one way or another. This is it. This is where it ends.
This is it? Yeah. That's where it all comes down. Obviously, on Caruvian mines. Otherwise known as altitude.
Yeah, lost and found.
Yeah. Odyssey. Battle in the Boardwalk.
Oh my god. I don't think I played a single ladder game on Battle of the Boardwalk.
Yeah, that was not a great... That was not a great map. I mean, I liked it. I liked picking it for the novelty and whatnot. But yeah, it could be very rough. Especially for Zerg, from what I remember.
Either that immediately.
Loved watching games on it.
Yeah.
It was another map that I felt was unnecessarily large, you know?
There's another map that I never played on, because I vetoed it straight away. God, what am I thinking of? It was small, and there was like a very narrow bridge from end to end, from base to base. Sorry, like connecting the naturals, basically. What am I thinking of?
There are quite a lot of maps at the beginning of Legacy of the Void that were like that.
Yeah, I'm not thinking of Daedalus Point. I don't think, or am I?
Orbital Shipyard? No, couldn't have been Orbital. Proxima? No, I don't think it was Proxima. New Gettysburg was huge. Well, while Light tries to find his memory, we are going to be loading in to altitude, LE. It all ends here in the snow-capped peaks. We're here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, where we have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He is basically a brain in a jar at this point. You know, his body has left. He is representing Abydos. We have Cure.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of altitude, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And the map that I'm thinking of, it's the map where, I don't know if you remember this, Yaku. It's the map that I believe Crank won in his YouTube video where he played Hearthstone and StarCraft at the same time.
Arena.
Yeah, that's it. Arena. Yep,
that's what it was called.
Oh my god, I had never played on that map.
It is burned in my mind.
Do you remember the bridge? Do you remember the narrow bridge?
I remember that bridge. It's burned in my mind because of that one video.
Yep. Arena. Oh my god. That was a map. That was
yeah. That was a map that was so good? Question mark. That you could literally tab out and play Hearthstone while playing. Go. I think it was a ZVZ he won, wasn't it?
God, it was either ZVZ or ZVT. I can't quite recall, but yeah, man. You thought the rushes on some of these current maps, like Submarine, was short? Nah, mate. Arena. Oh, it was brutal.
Yeah, it was tiny. There was a bridge connecting the two main bases, but then off into the right side.
Yep.
Huge tracts of land. It's just wide open space.
That you never saw.
Huge backyards. Yeah, that you would never go to because why would you? Just end the game in 5 minutes, mate.
True.
Just send everything across that bridge.
Oh my god. That was
you could set up like a minefield there.
There was some really sick games on Arena, to be fair. I remember watching like Dream Hacks, and
there were some TvTs that were insane on that map.
Yeah.
There were some really good games on that map.
It's specifically because Protoss and Terran, you can wall off that bridge with on like a pylon or like a depot. Like very few buildings are required, and you can actually turn that into a split map scenario. So yeah, good times.
Well, unless the pylon on the depot got busted down.
You're not wrong. As we're getting into this game here, we are on altitude. As we talk about very small maps, we're here on the largest map in the map pool.
Yeah, kind of the anti-Arena, in a way.
True. Very true.
True won DreamHack on that map, didn't he?
Did True win a DreamHack?
He beat Paul. Yeah, he beat Pult.
Did he?
He won Montreal back in 2016.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't like a DreamHack. That was like
well,
that was like it was
like a drum hack.
Yeah,
it was like a drum hack. Yeah. It was a dream hack, you know. It was a drum hack.
It was basically a premiere,
back when
an NA premiere event.
Segregation.
Yeah.
Back when you had the segregation between Koreans and foreigners.
Mm-hmm. That was at the end of WCS Premier League when there weren't any more dedicated events.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
League. Yeah, and it was so then instead the event.
There were no cross finals.
Yeah, instead the events started getting
there were like
with events like DreamHack.
It was like you had 3 cross finals each year at Katowice, at BlizzCon, and GSL versus the World.
Yeah.
Actually, in 2016, not even Katowice was cross finals. Katowice was also foreigner only.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, in 2016.
Okay. But yeah, with that, we're getting here into our final game of enough reminiscing about days gone by, times gone back when.
That's all we have.
Back when you were young, full of hope. You know,
that's all I had.
When you weren't smudging all the time.
A mustache, yeah.
You still can't.
When I actually thought I was like, when I thought I would win an SDO.
Jake, you went.
Before we shut it down.
We are getting into
this. I was
this.
so full of hope, and I was like, yeah, by the end of 2018, I'll win an SDO.
And Kira is once again going for a faster third CC here, so this time going to be going for a much more economic opener. Meanwhile, a 2-on-1 set up by ByuN. He's cranking out quite a lot of Marines here, going to be waiting for his eventual medevacs. You were talking about it earlier. This is a build that did pop up and rise in popularity in TvT and TvP, maybe at the start of the year, or maybe, last year even. But it kind of faded away. It's been a while since we've seen this. Been a while.
Yeah. It's a cycle of 2-on-1, you know? It pops up, and then it leaves, and it pops up again, and then it leaves. This year, though, it's been going through the cycle much more rapidly. ByuN being very aggressive once again with his double tank drop, just waiting for another couple of medevacs and for Stim to be about halfway done.
Yeah,
before zooming all the way across the map.
Yeah, as you can imagine, this is very committed out of ByuN. I mean, he's got, of course, a third CC behind this, but this is designed to do damage. ByuN has control of the Zelnaga. Cure has no idea what is coming his way. Back at home, he does have a tank lead. He's got his Ravens. He's got his own army getting in position, but oh boy, ByuN is so far unscattered as he heads towards that main.
And he is boosted on for it. We do have a Cyclone, but that's not going to be enough to stop the 2 tanks from dropping and immediately sieging up.
Yeah, exactly.
1 Raven is available here for Cure, but it's also available for ByuN, and it immediately gets disabled, but not before Cure is able to disable at least 1 tank. It goes down, and Cure is defending pretty well.
Cure was much faster with his disable. He shuts this down. It looks like the Raven is barely going to be able to... Oh, it barely does escape with its life. And yeah, Cure handled this very well for himself. You know, ByuN, he traded a little bit with the army, but that's not really the damage that we were looking for.
Sim just finished up, by the way, as those medevacs moved out of range from the Marines.
It's a little bit too late there from Cure, but ByuN, he's rallying everything across the map. He's expanding behind this. So again, he wants to keep the pressure up on Cure to delay Cure and keep him on 2 bases for as long as he can. Well, he does get away with his own third.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Cure has realized how committed, how aggressive ByuN is being right now, as he sets up a drop across the map. Not a terrible idea, but yeah, definitely one that will be keeping him behind a little bit. He doesn't have a third base yet, right?
Cure had a faster third CC.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Cure, he went for a faster CC, but just in the main base has been chilling. ByuN is able to mine from his a little bit faster as Cure breaks out. He is sending his drop across the map. Unfortunately for Cure, ByuN turns back around with his army, so he should be in the vicinity here to deal with this drop.
Yeah, he should be fine. Well, actually, ByuN is just sending everything across the map, so there's a little bit of an opening.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised here, but yeah, ByuN did move out a little bit, and as a result, 5 SCVs do go down. It looks like the drop is going to be denied, though. He doesn't get into the main base. He is going to be forced back, but Cure is not stopping. His main army is pushing on forward. He's looking to turn the tables here and yeah, keep ByuN on the back foot.
Or is he? Looks like that was a little bit of a fake out just to clear up that Zelnaga tower and posture a little bit. Cure being a little bit indecisive, going back and forth.
Yeah, we do see Cure go for the scan, trying to figure out what's going on. We do have another double drop slipping into the main base, but Marines are ready and waiting. Turrets as well. Is ByuN is Cure gonna be able to react in time?
Looks like he is, and he will force this drop to land at a bit of an inopportune location. Thankfully for Cure, he didn't commit to pushing out fully.
Exactly, did stick around here back at home instead. ByuN taking his 4th base on location as we speak. And Cure still quite moving out yet. He's waiting for his upgrades again. He does have 2-2 on the way. Vehicle weapons as well. And hey, we're on altitude. We could be seeing a bit of a longer one here.
As it should be, you know. We've had these TvTs that ended way too quickly. You know, I say strap ourselves in. Let's get ready for the 45-minute Marine tank no man's land trench warfare coming down here.
There you go. There you go. Cut the map in half. Go mech for all we care. As ByuN is actually getting into Viking production instead. So an interesting dynamic is about to play out here where Cure has the more mobile army, ByuN not as much. ByuN looking to try and hunker down instead as Cure is moving out, fighting for that map control.
Yeah, ByuN does have a little bit of a stronger Marine force over here, so will be chased back, but not by too much. Like you said, this complete reversal of dynamics is interesting here. Well, I say a reversal of dynamics. You know, ByuN is focusing a little bit more on his Viking count, but he is still acting as the aggressor.
Yeah, he only made 2 Vikings, and since then he has stopped starport production, so he's only made 2 for the time being. He hasn't quite committed. We do see the sables being thrown down once again. We have the anti-armor missile. Both the players do back off, and it looks like Cure barely takes down the tank.
Just barely. There's enough energy on this Raven for an auto turret. No, not quite. Cure pushing up this ramp, and he doesn't quite have enough to break on forward.
Yeah, Cure, he just didn't have the numbers. He didn't have the concave. He had the medevacs, but alas, he has to send some reinforcements out to clean this up. ByuN taking a better fight. Ooh, Cure even losing a couple of tanks.
Yeah, he is, but he's also able to reset ByuN's tank count of that. Still, Marine run by gonna be really punishing this fourth base of ByuN.
Yeah, exactly. We got a couple of SCVs. We trade more efficiently against these Marines as well, but no, Cure is being forced back at the same time. The main army pushing out on the right-hand side. Can Cure find some damage here? For the most part, ByuN is able to keep up, but he doesn't have any tanks here in position, so there's an opportunity here for Cure.
There is, but he needs a bit of a beefier Marine count to do it.
Yeah, exactly. As he's rallying across the map, Cure wants to try to threaten this third base, but at every turn, now there are tanks in position. We have Ravens as well for disables. Cure's going to have a hard time pushing in.
Like so, tanks are now sieging up. Cure has the overwhelming firepower on his side, but ByuN has much more Marines, and he does have the Raven advantage as well. Every single Marine of Cure is going to go down, and that's just going to allow ByuN to Marine bomb like so.
Yeah, exactly. Really solid target firing by ByuN as well. Before the tanks of Cure were able to siege, ByuN focused down 2 tanks immediately, and as a result was able to turn the tide in his favor. ByuN, neither player really has enough to keep on pushing though because of these reinforcements. Cure is able to hold on to this line, but I spoke too soon because another 2 tanks go down.
Yeah, now he has another line to hold on to, one that's a little bit further behind.
Yeah, exactly. As ByuN is looking to be active once again, taking control of those Zonagas, consolidating his army, now going to be moving out. Cure has to back off and turtle up back at home instead, or take a more defensive position.
Yeah, and this isn't really where he wants to be right now. He only now saturates his fourth base. You know, he was behind quite a bit when it came to the base count. Cure was really hoping that he would be able to, at the very least, take out a base or a bunch of SCVs of ByuN. And he does have that work elite for now, but he was hoping for a lot more, is what I'm trying to say.
He really was, as ByuN once again has so many Marines who are available. He just powers on through. The boys are being pulled, but even with the boys, it's not enough as ByuN completely shuts down this fourth base.
Yeah, Cure might have had the more technical army with the air superiority and with the Vikings, but who needs technicality when you have overwhelming brute force?
When you have man with gun, that is all you need. That is all ByuN needs anyway. As now Cure's on the back foot. He's down in the economy, he's down in the army, he's pumping out as many Vikings and tanks as he can, but alas, ByuN has numbers on his side, and with this, he can go for multi-pronged aggression. He can go for drops into the main again, he can try and hit the third base, like, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's aiming to do right now. He's keeping Cure's main army preoccupied with these tanks, just being threatening somewhat, saying, hey, at any time, I could siege up on top of you. You know, I'll do it. I'll do it. As he gets ready to go for a multi-prong in the other direction.
Yeah, exactly. As the Marines are stimming on forward, you do see Cure trying to keep up here, but again, a base almost goes down, forced to repair. Tanks are in position, so Cure should be able to hold on to his third, but ByuN is sending his reinforcements here on the right-hand side, looking for either a surround or maybe just bypassing the army, going straight for the natural.
Yeah, I gotta say, I appreciate Cure not neglecting his vehicle upgrades. It's about to get +3 vehicle weapons very, very soon. Ooh, this Doom drop into the main base will actually land.
Up! Who is it?
Potentially, as,
no!
speaking of Doom drop, yeah.
TKL!
Feels KR server, man.
Yeah, unfortunately our French caster once again is gonna be lagging out, not at the best
It's
moments.
been all, it's been all of the French casters today. Korea just doesn't like France.
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's, today Wardy has been able to hold on. I believe Steadfast as well. Unless this was
Something's
happening.
going on to France
Oh yeah,
specifically.
sorry, I spoke too soon. Wardy, I think it was in the quarterfinals. Wardy also did like that as well.
Oh, let's see.
Not in our
I
game,
see.
but he was talking about it.
I didn't see it, so it doesn't count.
It was in game 1 of Dark versus ByuN. Game 1 of Dark versus ByuN.
Right.
The game that we missed.
Well, we missed it, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, as here we go, we do drop into the main base. We do see ByuN getting on top of those tanks as well. One tank will fall. His army's going to get cleaned up. And ByuN pulls back, actually. He doesn't commit, even though there was maybe an opportunity. Maybe these tanks were left exposed. ByuN isn't able to capitalize on that, or he doesn't try to.
Yeah, now he's getting ready for round 2. He knows that the tanks are unsieged, and there's nothing stopping him from just stimming on forward. He does need to back away. I mean, ByuN doesn't really have much of a tank count. He doesn't have that anchor point that you really are looking for in a TvT in a marine tank battle.
Yeah, and you know what? If at first you don't succeed, try again. We have another Doom Drop going to the main base. One of those medevacs is almost dead, by the way. So I think these turrets may be able to get some damage done here.
It's in the front, but it is not. No, it does get targeted down by that missile turret in the back, and you know, that may just be enough for Cure to get some breathing room.
Yeah, ByuN is throwing a lot of supply away. This is the second time he Doom Drops into the main, and he's going to be losing everything, and he's not really trading too efficiently either. The supplies are slowly evening up.
3 SCVs went down this time, and yeah, Cure's even going to be able to flank these medevacs.
Yeah, medevacs do go down. We do see Cure trying to reestablish his 4th base. Tanks were already siege up in position, but no, they were exposed more than anything. 2 tanks go down.
Yeah, he doesn't have too many medevacs of his own, though, so yeah, stimming hurts him a ton. A little bit of an awkward positioning over there from Cure as well.
Yeah, and it looks like ByuN takes down the 4th base, even though he's been throwing away a lot of supply because of the massive economic advantage that ByuN has. He is able to afford throwing away supply. Cure cannot. Cure's still struggling on less than a 2-base economy as he's running out of money.
Yeah, I mean, ByuN is making 15 Marines at a time. Cure can barely hope to get close to 9 Marines at a time.
I mean, there's no mining in the main. He's got 1 mineral patch in the natural base as well. Cure only on 1 base, less than a base. ByuN is just chipping away at him left and right, and Cure, he can't keep up.
Yeah, not quite yet. Once again, the maxim holds true, you know, ByuN. He wants things to be a little more dramatic, so he allows his opponent to get on match point.
Exactly.
Before going for the potentially reverse sweep. I mean, we've seen positions like this end up being lost by players who looked like they were so far ahead that they couldn't lose. And we've seen it in the series, right? We've seen it on Royal Blood, where ByuN was in a dominating position, but just sent all of his units into a choke point and lost.
Yeah, it definitely is possible. Here we go. ByuN catches a couple more tanks here on the right-hand side for free. Meanwhile, he's also in range of this planetary as well, as we do see a disable being thrown down. ByuN, he pulls the trigger, he dives on top of this. GG gets called, and ByuN takes the series 3-2, becoming this week's KungFu Cup champion.
In a complete reverse sweep. I was ready to call it for Cure after game number 3, but ByuN is able to turn it all the way around and just grab that W over there. GG, very well played, you know. ByuN might have his wrist issues, but at least he has his wrists.
Yeah. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But GG, well played. Congratulations to ByuN as he does take the series, and he is this week's champion. As you were saying, Cure, I'm always really impressed by how he performs, despite the fact that Cure isn't at 100%, despite the fact that he doesn't have full mobility of his own hand and of his own arm. It's really cool to see him performing this well anyway, and like, who knows like how much more powerful Cure is going to be once he does fully recover. I mean, mate, he took down Showtime, he took down MaxPax, he forced ByuN all the way to the ace match. Cure's going to be terrifying.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, he is somebody to look forward to as the year progresses, but maybe not as much in the short term. Like the last we heard, the last update we had, he did get the okay from his doctor to start practicing again. So
Yeah.
it takes time, but I think he's getting there.
Yeah, he definitely is getting there. And I mean, again, we mentioned it earlier, like Cure, he did come back this week to play just because GSL is right around the corner and he got invited to it, so he wants to make sure that, and even if he isn't at 100%, like he's as in form as possible for GSL. So yeah, best of luck to Cure on his road to recovery and on his road to, of course, GSL. Meanwhile, congratulations to ByuN, of course, looking so damn good back-to-back here. He takes down Cure in the finals of KungFu Cup and also in the finals of ESL Cup Americas.
Yeah. Not too shabby. That's 2 wins in 2 days against the same player. How many wins in a row before we call it a domination? I think it's 4. If I remember my TF2 correctly.
Yeah, we'll see kind of how that trend does go, and if ByuN just has Cure's number at this point. We'll see. As again, really well done. Really solid tournament today as well. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Hope everyone had a great time here, and yeah, I look forward to more StarCraft in the future. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be a replay cast of the ESL Masters Open brackets. We've already done 2 of those. We casted all of Group A, casted all of Group B, and tomorrow is going to be Group C.
Indeed. Slowly making our way through them. Alphabetically.
There you go. As it should be. Oh boy. So yeah, if you are interested in our next broadcast, it is going to be tomorrow in 16 hours, so plenty of time. And Yaku, have you been, Papi? Have you been? Have you been holding up?
Pretty dead.
Okay.
Past a couple of weeks. Has been busy, and yeah, these upcoming weeks are going to be even busier. So I would say don't expect too much more of me. Any sort of activity from me, really. But after that, if I'm still alive, you can probably catch me over at twitter.com at Yakuzaku and twitch.tv at /Yakuzaku1. I do want to stream the crab game again. They did update it recently, but it's probably only gonna be in August, most likely. Maybe at the end of July.
There you go. So be sure to check out Yaku whenever he does eventually go live. Again, he's focusing on his studies, and that's why I haven't been able to cast with Yaku too often on this channel. But Yaku, I always appreciate it whenever you're available, whenever you do jump on. Thank you so much. Outside of that,
thank you for having me on.
Okay. You can follow me as well at @_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week. Just post the commands in the chat. But yeah, I do stream throughout the week. I should be I'm gonna try and stream tomorrow. No promises though. I haven't had a solid ladder session in like 10 days, so I'm gonna try and get back on that as best I can. But of course, if you're only interested in casting and in our casting, it's here on the CranKy Ducklings. CranKy Ducklings on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, socials in the chat. If you want to follow us, if you want to be notified for when we go live. Again, our next cast is tomorrow in 16 hours. ESL Open Cup Masters replays will be on this channel. And the day after that, WTL. World Team League did go on a week hiatus because of, or 2-week hiatus because of Home Story Cup and because of ESL Masters. But WTL comes back this Friday, and I'll be casting that with Asher. And yeah, it's going to be great to wrap up WTL because I think we only have like 2 or 3 weeks left for the round robin stage.
In the group stage, yeah. So, if you haven't been doing too well in the prediction game, this is when it all turns around.
There you go. It can all turn around. With that, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for your support. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft.
Bye.
Bye.
USA.
Bella.
Bella.